ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्वजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாவிவ சம்பிரக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தயே ஜகதः பிதரௌ வந்தே பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வரௌ. ஸ்ரீ பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வராभ्यां நமः. कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽह्यं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടും ഇറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ട തോറു പ്രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കുന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ Krishna Hare Jaya Krishna Hare. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining and coming this time. Trying to get my electronic speaker working. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah. So because of Saturday, we have a conflict, and I'm driving tomorrow to St. Louis for that event. So anyway, so let's get going with 72, right? I think we'll do the review next Saturday. So because we don't have time today. So I know some of you were only on listening mode. I forget who all, but anyway, Shashi, you can be a student for the first half. And then who else is available to chant today? Maithili, being available, huh?
Now available.
Okay. All right. Shashi, you and Maithili can be student for the first half.
Sure.
All right.
I'll go the second half. Maithili can take the first half so that I'll get some time to practice.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Maithili
Thank you.
first. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we finished 10, the stanza 10 and 72, right? So we'll start with the 11th one. नन्देन साकममिताधरमर्चयित्वा तं यादवं तदुदितां निशमय्य वार्तां गोपेषु भूपतिनिदेशकथां निवेद्य नानाकतिभिरहितेन निशामनैषीः. So we saw in the last class how Akrura, right? Kamsa finally tells Akrura that you go bring Krishna, Balarama, Nanda, and everybody here in the context of a bow ceremony I'm going to have, so that eventually he can get rid of all of them. So at the time, Akrura is reminiscing, he's kind of thinking about what is going to happen when he goes to Vrindavan. And finally, he comes to Vrindavan, and that's when we saw Balarama and Krishna were there. So they welcome him in. So Nanda first asks Akrura, saying, it's been a while since we met. How is everything going? It's hard to be living under Kamsa because, he's the person who actually tried to kill his own sister and brother-in-law. So how are you to say usual? They're having the conversation. Then later on, when Nanda is not there, only when Krishna and Balarama are there. So at that time, Akrura is communicating everything to Krishna. He's telling that, look, Kamsa has called all of you. By the way, Narada has already told Kamsa that you are the eighth son of Devaki. So Kamsa is looking to kill both of you. So he has told me to unfortunately invite all of you to come there. So he kind of lays it out completely to Krishna, right? What Kamsa has communicated. And Krishna, of course, he knows what's going to happen. So Krishna and Balarama then go tell Nandagopa, saying that, look, we have got an invitation to go to Mathura. We have to leave tomorrow morning. Like if you remember, I said, Ekadashi day, Kamsa tells it to Akrura. Dwadashi day, Akrura comes over to Vrindavan. And then Trayodashi day, they're supposed to leave to Mathura. So they tell Nandagopa, we have to leave tomorrow morning. There's no time because the bow festival is happening on Chaturdashi day, on the 14th day. So we have to leave tomorrow morning, which is the 13th. So Nandena Sakam Amitadharam Archayitva. You can break out those two smas. It's easier. Sakam Amitadaram Archayitva, comma. Tam Yadavam Taduditam Nishamaya Vartam Gopeshu Bhupati Nidesha Katam Nivedya, comma. Nana Kathabhiriha Tena Nishama Naishihi. So Krishna spends the entire night talking with Akrura. Nandena Sakam Amitadharam Archayitva Tam Yadavam Taduditam Nishamaya Vartam Gopeshu Bhupati Nidesha Katham Nivedya Nana Kathabhirihatena Nishamanaishihi.
ரெண்டு தடவையா ஒரு தடவையா?
2 times.
Okay. Nande Sakama Mita Daramarchiyitva Tam Yadavam Taduditam Nishamaya Vartam Gopeshu Bhupati Nidesha Katham Nivedya Nana Kathabhiriha Tena Nishamanaishihi.
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 And the first line is Nandena. I think you missed that na there.
Okay, that's why that was not landing properly.
Yeah.
What the hell? Nandena Saka Mamita Daramarchi Yitva Tam Yadavam Taduditam Nishamaya Vartam Gopeshu Bhupati Nisheksha Katham Nivedya Nana Katha Birihatena Nishamanaishihi.
In the first line, Sakam Amitadaram Archayitva. Just say it that way. Then it will. Nandena Sakam Amitadaram Archayitva. Can you say the first line, Maithili?
Yeah, I was just writing it down. Nandena Sakam Amitadaram Archayitva.
Yeah.
Nandena Sakam Amitadaram Archayitva.
Yeah.
नन्देन साकम् अमिताधरम् अर्चयित्वा तं यादवं तदुदितां निशमय्या वार्तां गोपेषु भूपतिनिदेशकतां निवेद्य नानाकथाभिरिह तेन निशामनैषीः. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nandena sakam amitadaram archayitva tam yadavam taduditam nishamayya vartam gopeshu bhupati nidesha katam nivedya nana katha birihatena nishamanaishi.
Answer two. Chandra grihe kimuta chandra bhaga grihe nu radha grihe nu bhavane kimu maitra vinde urto vilambatayite pramadha bhiruchaihi ashankito nishimarut puranatapayaha. So the word spreads that, this Akrura who has actually come is to take Krishna and Balarama and go the next morning. And then Nanda also tells all the other cowherd people who are there that you all also have to come because they're supposed to use this context to go pay taxes. So they have to take a lot of things to Kamsa. So they were all busy packing everything to go get ready the next morning. So the word spreads that Krishna and Balarama are going. So immediately, of course, this is a very like a sad episode, right? In 73. So the 72, the end, the Gopikas are running around searching for Krishna, wondering where is Krishna because he's not to be seen. They can't find him at all. So that's why here they're asking Chandra Grihe. Is he in the house of Chandra or is in Chandra Bhaga's house or is he in Radha's house or is in Maitra Vindha's house? So they're kind of going to everybody's house and looking for Krishna and Balarama, but they're not able to find Krishna and Balarama. Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihe nu, Radha grihe nu bhavane kimu maitravinde dhurto vilambata iti pramadhabhiruchaihi. So put a visarga at the end of that line and comma, pramadhabhiruchaihi. Next line, the rashankito becomes ashankito. Ashankito nishi marut puranata payaha. Please eradicate my ailments. Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihe nu Radha grihe nu bhavane kimu maitra vinde Bhurto vilambatayite pramadabhiruchaihi Ashankito nishimarut puranatha payaha.
Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihe nu Radha grihe nu bhavane kimu maitra vinde Dhuto vilambata iti pramadhabhiruchaihi ashankito nishimarut puranathapayaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihe nu Radha grihe nu bhavane kimu maitra vinde Dhuto vilambata iti pramadhabhiruchaihi ashankito nishimarut puranathapayaha.
Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihenu Radha grihenu bhavane kimu maitra vinde Durto vilambata iti pramadabhiruchaihi ashankito nishimarut puranatapayaha. Chandra grihe kimuta Chandra bhaga grihenu Radha grihenu bhavane kimu maitra vinde Durto vilambata iti pramadabhiruchaihi ashankito nishimarut puranatapayaha.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dashakam 73. Bhagavato Mathura Prasthana Varnanam. The Lord departing for Mathura. Stanza 1. Nishamayatavatayanavartam Vrishamartah Pashupala Balikastah Kimidam Katanviti Maha Samavetav paridevitanya kurvan. The kind of continuation from the previous stanza, right? So the Gopikas are, scrambling. So when they heard that, Akrura has come to take Krishna and Balarama away, but of course they became very distressed. So they completely stopped everything that they're doing. So whatever activities they were doing, they stopped and they all decided to go around, look, because they want to know what is happening. Why is Krishna and Balarama going? How long are they going to be gone? And they completely lost, all the awareness. And then they were all kind of, wandering around and they keep asking, Kimidam, what is this? Why is this happening all of a sudden? Because it completely caught everyone by surprise. Nobody knew Akrura was going to come, and all of a sudden he has come, and then he's going to take everybody there now. So Nishamayya Tavatha Yana Vartam, Brishamartaha, put a F, Brishamartah, Pashupala Balikastaha. So everyone, including the younger kids, older people, everyone. Pashupala Balikastaha. Kimidam Kathanvitimaha. So it's like a double in that comes there. Kathanvitimaha, Samavetaha, put the F, Samavetah, Paridevitanya Kurvan. Nishamayatavatayanavartam Drishamartah Pashupala Balikastaha Kimidam Katanvitimaha Samavetah Paridevitanya Kurvan.
निशमय्यतवाथयानवात्तां वृषमात्ताः पशुपालबालिकास्ताः किमिदं
Kathanvitimaha, double in. Kathanvitimaha.
कथन्वितिमाः समवेताः परिदेवतान्यकुर्वन्
Devitanya
देवितान्यकुर्वन् निशमय्यतवातयानवार्तां वृषमात्ताः पशुपालबालिकास्ताः किमिदं कथन्वितिमाः समवेताः परिदेवितान्यकुर्वन्
निशमय्यतवतायानवार्तां वृषमार्ता पशुपालबालिकास्ताः किमिदं कथन्वितिमाः समवेता परिदेवितान्यकुर्वन्.
Especially in the first line, second word. Tavatha.
Okay. निशमय्यतवातयानवार्तां वृषमार्ता पशुपालबालिकास्ताः किमिदं कथन्वितिमाः समवेता परिदेवितान्यकुर्वन्.
Once or two. Karunanidireshanandasunuhu Katamasman Visrujedananyanaataha Patanah Kimudaivamevamasite Iti Tastvat Gatamanasa Vilepuhu. So we've seen before, right? Even when Krishna and Balarama used to go to the forest, even when they used to go in the morning and they know they're going to be coming back in the evening, the gopis and gopikas used to miss them a lot. So now the gopikas are frightened because they are worried. It's the unknown, right? So they keep thinking about, what is going to happen to Krishna? Because Krishna, they don't know at this point, they don't know if he's going to go for a few days. But sometimes you always think of the worst case scenario, right? Says, hey, Krishna has been with us for all these days. We have never gotten separated from him. And this is the first time that Krishna is going to be leaving us and going. So what if it ends up being more than a few days? So they kind of all gather and they speak to each other, right? They're all very upset about this. And, they, of course, blame, like we all do. They blame the God. They say, you know what, you have absolutely no mercy on us. You brought us all together like this. You made us absolutely fall in love with Krishna. And now all of a sudden you are going to be taking him away. What do we do? Right? And then they say, Akrura. No, Kruram is cruel, right? Akrura means somebody who's not cruel. But they say, but this Akrura, whose name says is not cruel, he's actually ending up being very cruel because he's the one who has come to take Krishna away. So they're all kind of sitting and, hypothesizing what's going to happen and why all this is happening all of a sudden. So, Karuna Nidhiresha Nanda Sunuhu, Katham Asman Visrajet ananya. If you want to break at the Visrujet ananya nathaha. Bata naha. Put a if to join bata nah. Kimu Daivam evam asit. So the D that is there, we're going to break it. So Daivam evam asit. It, comma. Next word will start with the E. Iti, tas, tvat gata manasa vilepuhu. Karunanhidireshanandasunuhu katamasman visrujetananyanathah. Patanah kimu daivamevamasite iti tastvat gatamanasa vilepuhu.
करुणानिधिरेश नन्दसूनुः कथमस्मान् विसृजेन् जेननन्यनाथाः. Correct?
Visrujet ananya. Just break it that way.
विसृजेत् जेन जेता.
Jet, it, ta, first ta. Visrujet ananya.
विसृजेत् अनन्यनाथाः. बथनः किमुदैव मेवम् आसीत् इति तस्मात् गतमानसा विलेपुः. करुणानिधिरेश नन्दसूनुः कथम् अस्मान् विसृजेत् अनन्यनाथाः. बथनः किमुदैवमेवम् आसीत् इति गतमानसा विलेपुः.
And the fourth line or the fourth part, first part, iti tas.
Iti tas tvad tamanasa.
I think you're breaking it wrong. That's why it's not running. Iti tas tvad gata manasa vilepuhu.
Iti tas tvad gata manasa vilepuhu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
करुणानिधिरेशनन्दसूनुः कथमस्मान् विसृजेतनन्यनाथः. बतना किमु दैवमेवमासीत् इति तास्त्वद्गतमानसा विलेपुः.
On the end of the second line, Shashi, is ananyanathaha.
Oh, I said nathaha, right? Okay. करुणानिधिरेशनन्दसूनुः कथमस्मान् विसृजेदनन्यनाथाः. बतना किमु दैवमेवमासीत् इति तस्त्वात् गतमानसा विलेपुः.
Again, the last line. Iti tas tvad.
Oh, इति तास्त्वा गतमानसा विलेपुः. Okay.
That's a three.
Thank you.
Charama prahare pratishthamaanaha saha pitra nijamitra mandalaischa parita bhavaram nitam bhinina shamayishyan vyamuchas sakayamekam. So the Gopikas are thinking, Charama Prahare means the last part of the night. So you break the night into multiple portions, right? The last part of the night, just before dawn is going to happen, because they are not able to find Krishna. So they are all kind of thinking, the people of Mathura are very lucky, because the people of Mathura, just like we saw how this Yajva Patni, they have all heard about Krishna, but they've never got a chance to see Krishna. Similarly, he said the people of Mathura are going to be very lucky, because tomorrow morning, once dawn comes, Krishna is going to be going there, and they are now the ones who are going to be able to, look at Krishna. And then this is Krishna again. Krishna is 11 years old at this point, right? So they're saying, at this age, this is he doesn't have enough experience, right? Now, he's been staying at home with his parents all the time. We all have been taking care. All of a sudden, he's going to be going to a big city like Mathura. So who knows what is going to happen, right? So there he might actually fall into bad ways. They start thinking about all these things, just like how we all think when our kids leave home. Similarly, they are also thinking, that what's going to happen to Krishna. They're very worried. So at the time, they were all, as they were thinking, at the time, Krishna sends one of his friend as a messenger to the Gopikas. So he's coming and telling the Gopikas through this friend that don't worry, everything will be fine. I'm just going to go and I'm going to come back. So that's what you're sending that message through your friend to calm them down. Charama prahare pratishtha manaha, saha pitra nija mitra mandalaischa paritapa bharam nitambhininam, shamayishyan vyamuchaha, put is vyamuchas sakhayam ekam. Charama prahare pratishthamaanaha saha pitra nijamitra mandalaischa paritapabharam nitambhinam shamayishyan vyamuchas sakhayamekam.
चरमप्रहरे प्रतिष्ठमानः सह पित्रा निजमित्रमण्डलेश्च परितापभरं नितम्बिनीनां शमयिष्यन् व्यमुचः सखायमेकं चरमप्रहरे प्रतिष्ठमानः सह पित्रा निजमित्रमण्डलेश्च परितापभरं नितम्बिनीनां शमयिष्यन् व्यमुचः सखायमेकम्.
The second line, last word, mitra mandalaischa.
मित्रमण्डलैश्च
चरमा प्रहरे प्रतिष्ठमानः सह पित्रा निजमैत्रमण्डलैश्च परितापभरं नितम्बिनीनां समयिष्यान् व्यमुचः सखायमेकम्. चरमा प्रहरे प्रतिष्ठमानः सह पित्रा निजमित्रमण्डलैश्च परितापभरं नितम्बिनीनां समयिष्यन् व्यमुश्च सखायमेकम्.
And the first word, charama prahare. I think you're saying ma.
Charama. Okay, charama prahare. Okay, thank you.
Stanza 4. Achiradupayami sannidhim vo bhavita sadhumayaiva sangamashrihi amrutam bhunidhau nimajjayishye drutamityashvasita badhurakarshihi. So Krishna, in the message, this just tells what Krishna is telling through that messenger who is his friend. He just tells that don't worry, I shall return back very soon. He doesn't say when he's going to come back. He says I'll return back very soon. And very soon you'll be able to enjoy my presence, right? And then you'll all feel happy again. So he says, don't worry. Don't be upset about this thing, right? That is all the message Krishna is telling. He's not telling how long he's going to be gone. He's not telling when he's going to come back, what's going to happen. All he says is, I'll come back and then you'll become, you'll then be able to become happy again. Achirat upayami sannidhim vo, bhavita sadhu mayaiva sangamashrihi. Amrutam bhunidhau, one word. Amrutam bhunidhau nimajja ishye, double ja, nimajja ishye, The next word, you can break at that ma. Dhrutam ityashvasita, if you want to. Dhrutam ityashvasita vadura karshihi. Achiradupayami sannidhim vo bhavita sadhumayaiva sangamashrihi. Amrutam bunidhau nimajjayishye drutamityashvasita vadhurakarshihi.
Achiradupayami sannidhim vo bhavita sadhumayaiva sangamashrihi amritam bhunidhau nimajjayishye drutamityashvasita vadhurakarshihi. Achiradupayami sannidhim vo bhavita sadhu mayaiva sangamashrihi amritam bhunidhau nimajjayishye धृतमित्याश्वत्सिता बधूरकार्षीः
अचिरादुपयामि सन्निधिं वो भविता साधुमयैव सङ्गमश्रीः अमृताम्बुनिदौ निमज्जयिष्ये धृतमित्याश्वसितावधूरकार्षीः अचिरादुपयामि सन्निधिं वो भविता साधुमयैव सङ्गमश्रीः अमृताम्बुनिदौ निमज्जयिष्ये धृतमित्याश्वसितावधूराकार्षीः
Adhurakarshihi.
वधूरकार्षीः.
Sorry, we'll just switch right now. So Gayatri, you can be a student, and Shashi Rekha can be a student. Stanza 5. Savishadabharam sayachnamuchaihi atidhuram vanitaabhirikshyamanaha mridutaddishi patayenna panghan sabalo kruraratena nirgato bhuhu. So now it's morning, early morning. Everybody has come out outside Krishna's house. Krishna is ready to leave. Krishna and Balarama are ready to leave. And people are loading the carts. And these gopis are thinking, this Krishna seems so hard-hearted. Here we are so upset that he's leaving. And Krishna has already mounted the chariot, and all these other foolish people are now helping him, right? They're helping him load these carts. And they say nobody is telling Krishna not to go. Even the elders who are present there, nobody is stopping Krishna. And they keep wondering, how is it that only we so much don't want Krishna to go, right? Everybody seems to be helping him load the cart. They're all getting ready to leave, right? And they say even the fate is completely working against us. So they finally decide, you know what? We cannot put our shame in front of us as an obstruction here, right? Because if we want something, we have to go ask. So they decide that, we are going to let go all this. People say, okay, you are a woman, so you remain calm. Say, no, we are going to actually go and cry our heart out to Krishna. So they actually scream at Krishna and say, don't go. Why are you going? Why are you leaving us and going? Right? They keep calling all this to Krishna. They say, oh, Govinda, oh, Damodara, Madhava, please don't go. Don't let us go. They cry in front of everybody. But however, that's the thing. Krishna does not say any word. He does not even get down from the chariot. He doesn't tell anything to the gopis either. He previously pacified, right, to say that I'll come back, but he doesn't say anything. And then, he just continues, right? So seeing them, the chariot then starts moving. And then the gopis are seeing that Krishna has begun to move. He doesn't say anything. He just turns around. He looks at them, right? And then they wait, hoping that, by chance Krishna will get down and come running back, but he does not, right? And then the chariot continues to go. They keep waiting and looking till they can see the flag on the chariot completely disappear from them, right? And then finally the flag goes away. The dust which is coming from there, even that stops coming, which means they are actually, Krishna is finally left, right? Finally left from their sight. And then, he's not going to come back. And they don't know he's not going to come back. But Krishna never comes back then, right, to physically go visit them. And there's a long thing that will happen later, which I'll tell you at that point. But he never comes back to Vrindavan after that. I mean, as a person, he's always there in Vrindavan, but he doesn't come back to meet the Gopikas at Vrindavan at all. So, they all get very upset because, that Krishna didn't even say a word and then he just left us, right? And then they all get dejected and they go back home. So this ends Krishna's time in Vrindavan, or kind of with the Gopikas here in Vrindavan. So Achira, Savishadha Bharam Sayachnya Muchaihi. So that word is a ich and a nya. Sayachnya Muchaihi, comma. Atidhuram Vanita Bhirikshyamanaha Mrudu Taddishi Patayenna Pangan. So there's one word, double na. Patayenna Pangan, comma. Sabalo Krura Rathena Nirghatobu. So Krishna left. Krishna and Balarama leave with Akrura in the chariot, and the others are following them. Savishadhabaram sayachyamuchaihi atidhuram vanitaabhirikshyamanaha mridutaddishi patayenna pangan sabalo krura ratena nirgato bhuhu.
நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் போணுமா?
Gayatri நீங்க
सविषादपरं सयाञ्च्यमुक्षैः अधिदूरं वनिताभिरीक्ष्यमाणः मृतु तद्दिशि पादयन्न पाङ्गान् सपलो क्रूररतेन निर्गतो भूः सविषादपरं सयाङ्क्ष्यमुक्षैः अतिदूरं वनिताभिरीक्ष्यमाणः मृतुदद्दिशि पादयन्न बाङ्कान् सपलो क्रूरु
Sabalo krura.
Okay. Sapalo kruraratena nirgato bhuhu.
Rajeshri, one question. Anga sabalo akrura ratena padlama ade.
இல்ல அது வந்து அந்த whenever it comes that symbol like S, you generally say it together. So it is sabalo akrura, but that will come together because of the S symbol, right? So sabalo krura. Okay.
Ila, he goes in the akrura ratha, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's akrura only, but that word just comes together. It just says together as one word. That's all. But that is the word is akrura.
Thank you.
सविषादभरं सयाज्ञमुच्चैः अतिदूरं वनिताभिरीक्ष्यमाणः मृदुतद्दिशि पातयन्नपाङ्गान् सबलो क्रूररथेन निर्गतो भूः सविषादभरं सयाज्ञमुच्चैः अतिदूरं वनिताभिरीक्ष्यमाणः मृदुतद्दिशि पातयन्नपाङ्गान् सबलो क्रूररथेन निर्गतो भूः.
Answer 6. Anasa bahulena vallabhanam manasa chanugatoota vallabhanam vanamartam mrigam vishanna vriksham samatito yamunatatimhayasihi. It's very beautifully said. It says the vallavanam, which is the gopas, which are the men, are following Krishna's cart. Like he's going in Akrura's cart. The men are following Krishna and the cart because a lot of them are going along with Nandagopa to Mathura. So they're all following Krishna in the cart. However, the Vallabhanam, which are the Gopikas, their mind is following Krishna because they are not able to go there, right? They are not invited and they are not going to Mathura. So they're staying back in Vrindavan, but they say, but their mind is always with you, Krishna. Their mind is always traveling with you. And then Krishna and all of them, they go through, Vrindavan, they're about to leave Vrindavan, So like it says beautifully, like we saw how when Krishna plays the flute, everything comes to a standstill in Vrindavan. All the trees, all the rocks, everything stands still. So as Krishna is going, it says even just when Krishna came for the first time in Dasakam 49, we saw how the Kalindi river was following Krishna wherever he went. It means it's grazing around, winding around. So similarly here, the trees, the rocks, the river, everybody's upset because Krishna is leaving Vrindavan. So finally they cross and they all come to the banks of Yamuna river at this point, about to leave Vrindavan. Anasa bahulena vallavanam, manasa chanugatota vallabhanam vanamartha mrigam bishanna briksham, samatito yamuna tatima yasihi. Anasa bahulena vallavanam manasa chanugatota vallabhanam vanamartha mrigam vishanna vriksham samatito yamuna tatima yasihi.
Anasa bagulena vallavanam manasa chanugatota vallabhanam vanamartha mrigam vishanna vriksham samadito yamuna tatimayasihi. Anasa bagulena vallavanam manasa chanugatota vallabhanam vanamartha mrigam vishanna vriksham samadito yamuna tatimayasihi.
अनसा बहुलेन वल्लभानां मनसा जानुगतोऽथ वल्लभानां वनमातमृगं विषण्ण वृक्षं समतीतो यमुना तटीमयासीः अनसा बहुलेन वल्लभानां मनसा जानुगतोऽथ वल्लभानां वनमातमृगं विषण्ण वृक्षं समतीतो यमुना तटीमयासीः.
That's a 7. नियमाय निमज्ज्यवारिणि त्वाम् अभिवीक्ष्यातरतेऽपि गान्धिनेयः विवशो जनिकिन्विदं विभोस्ते ननु चित्रं त्ववलोकनं समन्तात्. So they reach the banks of Yamuna. So first Krishna and Balarama get down. They had to drink some water. So they get down, they drink the water. And then Akrura, who's Gandhineyaha, who's the son of Gandhini. So he then parks the the cart that they have next to the tree, etc. So he tells Krishna and Balarama, you both wait there, because he has to go perform his morning rituals in the river Yamuna. So he then goes in there, Akrura gets into the water, and then he's doing his rituals. And then when he gets up out of the water, suddenly he sees Krishna and Balarama standing in front of him. He says, how can Krishna and Balarama be standing here? I just left them at the cart. Then he says, maybe, that they probably ended up coming here. But then when he went there again, he goes there, he sees that, he looks into the pool. Again, he's seeing the image of Krishna and Balarama. And then when he comes back to the cart, again, he sees Krishna, Balarama. So then, he really begins to wonder, what is happening? How is it that I just saw them in the cart? I'm seeing them standing in front of me. When I dip myself into the water, also I see them. So here Bhattacharya says, what is so great about it? Krishna is omnipresent. Of course, he's there everywhere. And this Akrura, we saw how in Dasakam 72, he so much wanted to meet Krishna. So Krishna then wants to kind of give him a sense of, how the bliss is to see Krishna. So this is an experience that Akrura is going to have. So anyway, so he looks and he sees Krishna there inside and outside. So Niyamaya Nimajya Varini Tvam. So that ma that is there, we're going to break it, put an im, comma. Next word starts with the a. Abhivikshyata Ratepi Gandhineya Vivashojani Kin Vidham. Again, double in, like we saw earlier. Kin Vidham Vibhoste, comma, Nanu Chitram Tvavalokanam Samanthat. Niyamaya Nimajyavarini Tvam Abhivikshyata Ratepi Gandhineya Vivashojani Kin Vidham Vibhoste Nanu Chitram Tvavalokanam Samanthat.
नियमाय निबज्यवारिणि त्वाम् अभिवीक्ष्यता रतेऽपि गान्तिनेयां विवशो जनिकिन्विदं विभोस्ते ननु चित्रं त्ववलोकनां समन्दात् नियमाय निमज्यवारिणि त्वाम् अभिवीक्ष्यत रतेऽपि गान्धिनेया
Gandhineyaha. Sorry, guys. Gandhineyaha.
Okay. Ratebi Gandhineyaha Vivosho Janikinvidam Vibhoste Nanu Chitram Tvavalokanam Samantat.
Yeah, you have to, if you're going after me, you have to adjust your pitch accordingly. Doing after me.
It's tough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Niyamaya nimajyavarini tvam abhivikshyath rathepi gandhineyaha vivasho janikinvidam vibhoste nanu chitram tvavalokanam samantat. Niyamaya nimajyavarini tvam abhivikshyath rathepi gandhineyaha Vivasho janikinvidam vibhoste nanu chitram tvavalokanam samantat.
That's 8. Punaresha nimajya punyashalhi purusham tvam paramam bhujanga bhoge arikam bugadam bhujai spurantam surasiddhauga paritamaluloke. So when he sees Krishna there, so then he then takes another dip in the water. So this time, Akrura is actually seeing something which is very blessed to see. He sees the entire Adishesha line. In that Adishesha, he sees Lord Vishnu lying there, Supreme Vishnu lying on the lap of Adishesha. And the Adishesha is completely white in color, like the Mount Himalaya, right? Completely white, like a lotus stem. He's pure white in color. And then he sees all these other people around, surrounding that Adishesha, and then Vishnu lying there in that. And of course, Vishnu means naturally the color was that of a dark blue rain-bearing clouds. He was wearing yellow pitambaram, and he had in his 4 hands, he had Ari, Kambu, Gada, Ambujam. He had all of these 4 things in his hand, and then he had a very smiling face. And then he sees the Srivatsa, the mark. He sees the Kaustuba gem. So he sees all of this inside the water. So that is first he saw only Krishna in multiple places. Now when he goes in, he sees his entire vision underwater, is what Akrura is seeing. So Punaresh, so he sings Punyashali because he's so blessed to be able to see this. Punaresha Nimajya Punyashali, Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Ari Kambu Gadambhujaihi. Is Gadambhujais Spurantam, Sura Siddhauga Paritam Loke. Surrounded by Sura and Siddhas and everybody else. Punaresha Nimajya Punyashali Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Arikambu Gadambhujai Spurantam Sura Siddhauga Paritamalu Loke.
Punaresha Nimajya Punyasali Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Arikambu Gadambhujai Spurantam Surasiddhauka Paritamalu Loke. Punaresha Nimajya, sorry. Okay. Punaresha Nimajya Punyashali Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Arikambu Gadambhujai Spurantam Surasiddhauka Paritamalu Loke. Paritamalu Loke.
Punaresha Nimajya Punyashali Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Arikambu Gadambhujai Spurantam Surasiddhauga Paritam Aluloke. Punaresha Nimajya Punyashali Purusham Tvam Paramam Bhujanga Bhoge Arikambu Gadambhujai Spurantam Surasiddhauga Paritamalu Loke.
Right. Satadha Paramatma Saukya Sindhau Vinimagna Pranuvan Prakara Bhedaihi Avilokya Punascha Harsha Sindhoho Anuvritya Pulaka Vrito Yayautvam. Of course, imagine seeing that form underneath the water. So even Akrura didn't know what to do. He was in a kind of the transcendental state. He was in a state of bliss. So he says, Pulaka Vrito. He had horripilation all over his body. The hairs were erect all over his body. And then he had tears coming from his eyes. And he couldn't imagine what he was seeing. And he was in that state of bliss for a while. While he was in that state of bliss, and then Akrura does a very beautiful stuti. It is there in Bhagavatam, which he does about 30 stanzas of stuti, from what he's seeing there. He praises Lord Vishnu and then finds all of a sudden, just like how he suddenly saw that form, in the same way, that form suddenly disappeared. And once that form disappeared, then it was completely out. Then he could not see it anymore, no matter how much time he tried. He goes underwater again to look. He cannot see it anymore. It's gone. And then he finally finishes his last, whatever he was doing, the puja, and then he comes out of the water. And then when he comes to the chariot, he's very astonished, right? Because he saw this underwater. Satada Paramatma Saukya Sindhau, Vinimagnaha, put a F, Vinimagna Pranuvan Prakara Bhedaihi Avilokya Punascha Harsha Sindhoho. So the R that is there, first put a Visarga, Sindhoho. Next word will start with the A. Anuvritya Pulakhavruto Yayautvam. Satada Paramatma Saukya Sindhau Vinimagna Pranuvan Prakara Bhedaihi Avilokya Punascha Harsha Sindhoho Anuvritya pulakavrito yayau tvam.
सददा परमात्मसौख्यसिन्धौ विनिमग्न प्रणुवन् प्रकारभेदैः अविलोक्य पुनश्च हर्षसिन्धोः अनुवृद्ध्या पुलगावृतो ययौ त्वां सददा परमात्मसौख्यसिन्धौ विनिमग्नः प्रणुवन् प्रकारभेदैः अविलोक्य पुनश्च हर्षसिन्धोः अनुवृद्ध्या पुलगावृतो ययौ त्वाम्
सतता परमात्मसौख्यसिन्धौ विनिमग्नः प्रणुवन् प्रकारभेदैः अविलोक्य पुनश्च हर्षसिन्धोः अनुवृत्त्या पुलकावृतो ययौ त्वाम् सतदा परमात्मसौख्यसिन्धौ विनिमग्नः प्रणुवन् प्रकारभेदैः अविलोक्य पुनश्च हर्षसिन्धोः अनुवृत्त्या पुलकावृतो ययौ त्वाम्
किमुशीतलिमा महाजले यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अतिहर्षनिरुत्तरेण सार्धं प्रतवासी पवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्. So because Akrura is coming so surprised, right? Like you saw, he had horripilation all over his body. He seemed very surprised and he was shivering when he came out. So Krishna very jokingly asked Akrura, was the water very cold because you are like shivering so much and you have this, the hairs are standing erect on your body, you're having horripilation. But Akrura doesn't, he's speechless because he's kind of had an experience which he's not able to come out of, right? And then he quietly gets into the chariot and they all head towards Mathura. So with this Dashakam comes to an end. O Pavanesha Pakimam Tvam. Please, O Krishna, the one who went in the chariot with Akrura, please eradicate my ailments. Kimu Shita Lima Mahan Jale Yat, Pulako Saviti Choditena Tena Ati Harsha Niruttarena Sardham, Ratavasi Pavanesha Pahi Mam Tvam. किमुशीतलिमा महाञ्जले यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अतिहर्षनिरुद्धरेण सार्धं प्रतवासी पवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्.
किमुसीतलिमा महानजलेत्यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अधिहर्षनिरुत्तरेण सार्धं रतवासी भवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्. किमुसीतलिमा महाञ्जलेत्यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अधिहर्षनिरुत्तरेण सार्धं रतवासी भवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्.
किमुशीतलिमा महाञ्जले यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अतिहर्षनिरुत्तरेण सार्धं रथवासी पवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्. किमुशीतलिमा महाञ्जले यत् पुलकोऽसाविति चोदितेन तेन अतिहर्षनिरुत्तरेण सार्धं रथवासी पवनेश पाहि मां त्वम्.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namah. So this ends Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan. We saw Gokulam from 49 to 73. 24 chapters, 25 chapters was Vrindavan. From 74, the activities in Mathura will start and eventually to Dwaraka. Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namah. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakam anupamitam kaladeshavaribhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamashatha sahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtamatre punarurupurusharthatmakam brahmatattvam tattabhati sakshat guru pavanapure hanta bhagyam jananam kahena vacha manasendriyerva बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Good night and have a good day.
Thank you. Yeah.
To St. Louis.
Thank you.
Yeah, you will hear this. Bye.
Bye.